want you to write these down and look at them later. Number 1, obey even when you don't have all the details. I'm going to say that again. Obey even when you don't have all the details. In Genesis chapter 12, verse 1, it says, "Now the Lord had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land I will show you." He came to Abram, which is later Abraham, and he tells him, I want you to leave what you're familiar with to a place I will show you. He didn't say go to this place. He said to a place I will show you. There's some unknown details here. And when God gives you unknown details, you have to trust him, right? To some people, this doesn't seem like a big deal. But we must understand that connection to family in those days was a huge deal. This is where you get your stability. Your family is your stability. Your family is your livelihood. So if God says, leave all of this behind, it's like saying, I want you to start over somewhere, but you don't know where you're going. I think people that come from close-knit families understand the difficulty of this verse more than people who are kind of loners. So if you're a loner, you don't really understand how close-knit families work. I'll never forget, I left home when I was 17, I joined the Navy. And from that moment on, I was kind of like a man to myself, you know. And of course, I loved my mom, but I just wasn't under my mom like that. And so when I got married, my wife was like, I want to call mom and tell her the drapes we're going to pick out. And I'm thinking, you going to call your mom about everything we do? I didn't understand the closeness that family can be because I didn't have that. I didn't want, Mama, guess what? Me and Terry just went to Macy's. I bought some boots. You ain't going to believe what these boots. That wasn't me. But she wanted to include her mom in everything that was going on because she loved her mom. I had to learn to appreciate that because that's not how I was built. So when God says to Abraham, I want you to get up and I want you to move over here, he doesn't say where you're going. And see, oftentimes we desire to follow God, but we need a few more details. Where am I going, Lord? Who's going with me, Lord? How long I got to stay there, Lord? God didn't say any of that in here. He says, go to a place that I will show you. Let me read verse 2 through 4 for you. It says, and I will make you a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse you, and thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. And in thee, Verse 4, the first 3 words of verse 4 are beautiful. It says, so Abram departed. God says, get up, go to a place that I'm going to show you. And I'm going to make your name great. And everybody in the world is going to be blessed through you. And Abraham got up and he left. And Abram departed, and the Lord has spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abraham was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. He was 75 years old when he left. Now, I'm not going to say raise your hand if you're over 75 in here. I ain't going to do you like that. But have we become too familiar and too comfortable in our lives that if God gives us a mission, we'd struggle to move on it? You got to imagine now, 75 years you've been here. This is all you know. And God says, switch it up. I don't know about you guys, but I don't really like to change that much. I like consistency. I like to wake up and know what the day is going to be like. But when you serve God, sometimes that's not the mode of your day. One of the things that people hate most and resist most is change. They don't like it. But my question is, will we obey? Will we move when God says if it makes us uncomfortable? If we don't have all the details? Let me give you another one. John chapter 2, verse 1 through 5. Write this down. John 2, 1 through 5. It says, and the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee. And the mother of Jesus was there, and both Jesus was called and his disciples to the marriage. So Jesus got an invite. He's at the marriage. His mom is at the marriage. Verse 3 says, and when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus said unto him, they have no wine. They ran out of wine. They ran out of, how you going to run out of wine at the party? You can't run out of wine. It's like going to the Super Bowl party and they run out of wings. You can't run out of wings. Man, I'm finna go. They ran out of wings. 9 people ate wings and they out already. They ran out of wine. Verse 4, Jesus said unto her, woman, what have I to do with thee? What does that have to do with me, mama? Why are you telling me about them running out of wine? Why are you bringing that over here, mama? He said, my hour has not yet come. It's not time for me to express myself this way yet. This was his first miracle. And then verse 5 is where it says such a beautiful statement. Verse 5 says, his mother said unto the servants, whatsoever he saith unto you, do it. She says, Jesus, they're out of wine. Jesus says, okay, am I the wine bringer? She says, Jesus, what did mama say now? Yes, ma'am. Then she looks at the workers and she says, whatever he tells you to do, you do it. Some of the greatest words of advice that we will ever hear is whatever he says to do, do it. They don't ask details, just do it. So Jesus tells them to grab 6 water pots that are nearby. And these water pots fill up about 20 to 30 gallons. He says to them to fill them with water. I like that. It says fill them with water. And I thought to myself when I read this, how many of us are not blessed the way we should be because when we're told to fill our lives with something, we just pour a couple drops in it. See, he said fill the pots. What if they would have poured a little bit in each pot? What if he gave them wine in each pot, but just the amount of water they put in there? What if you and I are walking around with low power, no power, because he says, fill yourself. And I go, that's enough for today. Have y'all ever heard this one? Put on the whole armor of God. Right? Why I got to put on the whole thing, Jesus? I mean, we ain't been fighting in forever. I can't remember the last time I fought. I'm just going to put the shoes on. I mean, this shield is too heavy. I mean, the last time I carried this shield, I was carrying it around, did nothing happen anyway. I'm just going, you know what? I'll put on the helmet, Jesus, but this breastplate just get in my way, and it's uncomfortable. And that is when the enemy attacks. When you don't have on the whole armor. He says to fill the water pots. He says put on the whole armor. And we say, can I get away with half? Like half is better than nothing, Jesus. That's when the enemy attacks. Now get this. We've become complacent with God's protection. Complacency is not a good thing. Contentment is a good thing. Complacent is not. Always be content, but never be complacent. Always seek to fill yourself more and more with the things of God. Never be okay with, I'm good with this week because I heard a good message. Hear another one. Read some more. Learn some more. Every day, fill your heart with something that will protect you. Put on that armor every day. Will we obey? Will we move when God says if we don't have all the details? Did you know that you could actually support the YouTube channel and podcast? That's right. If you have a desire to be a blessing to the show, there's many different ways you can do it. We have Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, and you can use the website to make a donation. Any donation will help, and every donation will be used to pour into the lives of others. So if you want to click on the description of this video, you can find all of the information you need to make a donation. God bless you, and thank you for your support.